About 7 years back I was driving about 45 miles per hour on a 40 miles per hour 2-lane road behind 3 other cars. We were going down a hill. At the bottom of the hill was a left turn street, neighborhood. On the right side of the road across from the left turn was a 10-foot high, steep angled, not straight down, but damn near close, drop with no rail. Basically, the DOT designed this area for death. So, here I am 2.5 or so car lengths behind the van full of school kids in front of me, which is tailgating the guy in front of him, and in front of him was a moving truck. The truck decides at the last minute to turn left at the bottom of the hill. Guy behind him slams on the brakes, the van does the same. I had about 1 second to decide if I would take my chances and hit a van full of kids or hit the steep ditch drop off and prepare to crash. I slammed on my brakes, swerved right, felt my car fishtail behind me to the right so that I was angled facing the line of cars, road on my left, literally skidded along the edge of the road on the undercarriage of my car, passed the cars completely, hit traction on the increasing slope in the ditch, straightened out my car and hopped back in the lane on all fours. I pulled over in the next neighborhood on my right and waited there for about 10 minutes until I was able to catch my breath. I was shaking from the adrenaline, and I remember feeling both scared shitless and excited that I made it out of that without damaging my car or hitting those kids. The only damage I had was from tree branches and grass that I had to pull from the tires, doors, side view mirror. I never looked at the undercarriage, but in retrospect I wish I would have. I had that car for a few more years before I traded it in. Every time I drive down that road I get a flashback of it happening. For 2 years after it happened my skid marks were still on the road. This is probably gonna get lost in the depths somewhere, but I'll throw mine in. It was just last week actually. I was with my friends filming a video for one of our classes as a final project. I had never been to the neighborhood before and wasn't familiar with all the intersections. I left my friend's house to go pick up another person who was going to be filming with us. There was an intersection right after where I pulled out of his street, and it was the only intersection on that road with a stop sign for north-south traffic. Turns out west-east traffic didn't have to stop. I wasn't really paying attention, was trying to memorize my lines, and missed the stop sign for me since I was on the north-south road. I was going a good speed because I was trying to keep everything on schedule. 2 SUVs were traveling east-west. It was like those problems where you have to find a point where 2 opposite traveling vehicles will meet. Well, turns out their meeting point was right in the middle of the intersection as both were going about 45 miles per hour. I was driving a Nissan Cube. It might not be that well known, but it's essentially a metal and plastic box with wheels. I went through the intersection at about 35 miles per hour. Had I been going just a tad bit slower, I could have been seriously injured or possibly died because I ran that stop sign and barely missed getting hit by the cars. I realized what happened as soon as the bigger SUV missed my rear bumper by probably a few feet, but it felt like centimeters. I had to pull over and regain myself and calm down because goddamn if that wasn't the scariest fucking thing that had ever happened to me. I was shaking the rest of the day. Followed all traffic laws and stayed under the speed limit. I was just happy I was alive at that point. Almost died when I missed a stop sign.